What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Gotta Get Back, the Samurai Jack and Review Show. My name is Kyle, your host. Welcome to Project Potter, guys. If you haven't seen the show before, guys, what it is it's a quick recap of the episode. It is a favorite character, a favorite scene, a score out of 10, and then maybe some trivia or some Easter eggs or errors at the end there. So here we go, guys. Episode 19. We're making our way through season 2. This one, Jack begins on a giant robot bug because of course he does, because this is Samurai Jack, and it's kind of generic. It's just another scene they're flying through. There's like pirates with guns, but they're all on flying bugs too. How Jack got on this bug, I don't know. He just kind of put in this position, but they're kind of coming in both ways on him. He does that thing that he always does, where he makes the enemies run into each other and kind of kill each other there. But he does kind of learn to stop with the bug. Takes his sword out, cuts a dude's head off. It's like a cool slow-mo shot where he's like dead before he even knows what hits him. Eventually Jack kind of goes on the ground there, and the bug is like hopping around on the ground, and he's going against, I think this might be the shot from the opening sequence, I'm not sure, like the title, but he's going, and now he's like jousting against the one dude that's left. He avoids the spear, cuts him 3 times in half there. We get the classic black screen and the swipes. And then there's like these little fox people in robes, like little Jedis almost. And they're like, wow, thank you so much. You freed us. It's just another story of Jack going through the land, freeing people from Aku's enslavement. So that's really cool because that's what Jack does. But then we get a lot of shots of Jack going through these different landscapes. And in between the big battles, or even the little battles, this is what Jack does. I mean, there's a lot of downtime because he's just constantly traveling, to find a portal to get back home to undo the future that is Aku, really. So there's like scenes of him going to like these vast lakes and like climbing these like icy mountains. There's a beautiful shot, like a purple moon. Why it's purple, I don't know, but he's going through a field. Eventually he goes to like this overgrown area where he goes down, he like stops to get some water. The wind's blowing, he like looks up, and he's probably tired, but he's kind of calm. And then he looks next to himself, and there's like a monkey head, and it's all overgrown. And he's like, could it be? And he kind of looks up, and then he's going up these old steps here, and most of the area is covered and completely overgrown in moss. But Jack kind of looks up, and there's like stone structures. So he looks really hard, and then he comes over the edge, and he's like, oh my God, it is. And it turns out this is his hometown, because he sees the logo, like the Samurai Jack logo on there. And Jack is like, oh my God, it's my home. And he kind of sits down there, and it's like an emotional moment for Jack because it's cool. We see like the flashbacks of like the current overgrown state. And then we see like the flashback of how it used to be. So it's like this beautiful lush, like the flowers are falling. It's like purple and red and white. And it's like a lively city. And there's all these people walking around, and looks like a wonderful place, destroyed now. And Jack is upset. He starts like tearing up, but then he kind of puts his hands down, and he kind of remembers what he needs to do. But we do get like a great flashback sequence of young Jack, and he's like running through the field. So this is how we get to know Jack before the pilot episode where Aku attacks and like destroys his village. He's running through, he's like chasing bugs through the like this tall grass field here. He runs into like a little girl, and that's like his little girlfriend, basically, or like playmate, where they're running around. Everything is good. They're laughing. They're chasing crickets around. And then Jack is like kind of flirting with her. He makes her like an origami, and she kisses him on the cheek, and he's like, ooh. Eventually, like this army comes in. It's the army that defends the hometown. I think it's Jack's dad. It's either Jack's dad or it's like a friend, whatever. There's like 4 like weird dudes in like straw. They have like a basket for a head. It's a weird design. But basically it's like they go meet on the bridge, and there's like one samurai. And I thought it was Jack's dad, but now I'm not entirely sure. But Jack is like, oh my God, and he's watching. And then he like kind of cringes, but he's like slowly knocking these guys off the bridge into the water, and he's fighting them off with the sword. And then Jack like actually begins to like admire the guy. Oh, and it's not Jack's father, because Jack actually sees the little boy who looks a lot like his dad kind of run back to his dad after he defeats them. And so he's protecting him. But this inspires Jack to be like, oh, I want to be like that. So little Jack starts like swinging around his little stick. And that was kind of what inspired him to be a samurai. We get a great shot of like the ancient like Jack's army, basically, that kind of defended the hometown before everything happened. And then there's like a pillar where Jack is like mom and dad, and it's like little Jack running down to hug his mom and dad. And now it's just like barely anything is left there. And so Jack is going through and he's like crying, and it's really sad. But we kind of see him like reliving his memories. And so he finds like a little ball that he was playing around with as a kid, and it's still there. And then the flashback is like 3 bullies picking on him, and they take it from him. His dad actually tells him, like you need to defend yourself or learn to fight for yourself. And I think this is kind of where he teaches Jack kind of how to fight or how to stick up for himself. And he's remembering the past, and there's like birds flying away, and Jack eventually gets the little ball, and he's happy in the past. And then he kind of cuts back to the future there, and he's like interrupted really because there's a robot that's burning on fire, and it's like, please save us. And Jack has got the ball, and he's like, oh, I forget, like I need to remember why I'm doing this. And the final shot is like the old flashback of Jack's parents like looking over him kind of with like a white light around it. So Jack spends a lot of time in the past, but he remembers that like he's fighting to get back to the past to save the past and undo the future. Of course, it is Aku. So that is how the episode ends. Okay, guys, so for a magic sword for this one, so this is the first time I'm going to give it to a non-character. It's actually just going to go to Jack's past because it's really cool to see. So it's kind of the environment. It's really cool to see like the buildings overgrown now and then how they used to be, because we didn't get to see a lot of that. We see a very brief glimpse of Jack's life in the pilot, but then Aku destroys everything. So this is really cool to see like what it was like and how Jack kind of lived out his days as a kid, and where he began to kind of fight for himself and stick up for himself so he wouldn't get bullied. So yeah, just the environment in Jack's home is kind of get the magic sword here, because the only character really outside of the opening scene with the pirates and like the fox people is Jack in the whole episode. So it's going to go to his past. A Portal in Time, guys, this one is tough because there were so many beautiful shots there, but I think the scene where he's flashing back and he's running at the end to his parents, and then he just like it cuts back to present day or future, and it's just empty, and it's like a stone wall now. It's really like depressing, and it hit hard because I was like, wow, this used to be a beautiful lane where Jack remembers as a kid like running to his parents and being so happy, and now it's literally just like nothing. It's like the history is gone. So yeah, that one shot in particular was really impactful, and I think stood out the most out of any other shots in this episode. For a score, guys, this one, there wasn't a ton of action in it, but this was more of an emotional episode. With that being said, I'm going to give it an 8.4. I think it was a good episode. I think impact emotionally was really important, but it is just kind of a quick dive into the past, and then Jack realizes that, oh, there are battles to be fought now in the future. He's trying to save as many people as he can, so he saves kind of like 2 like no-name tribes or people in the beginning, and then by the end, even though he's like reminiscing the past, a burning robot comes up to him and says like, please save us or whatever. And so Jack understands that there's work to be done in the future so they can get back to the past and they can get back to living like that, or undoing it or all that. So yeah, it's a good episode. Emotionally, it was really nice. It's really cool to decide that throughout his journey, he's going to go back to his home because he didn't come here on purpose. Like the world he's in now is unrecognizable to him, clearly. So there's no way that he like knew, oh, if I go this way, I'm going to get home. So the fact that he stumbles upon his home where he's just getting some water and he sees like, oh, wait, this can't be this statue, can it? And then he finds the Samurai Jack symbol and he's like, oh my God, it's my home. Really, really nice touch. And I think just a good episode overall. Okay, guys, for Jack Facts for this week, we do have a couple, which is nice because we've been having Jack Facts for the last few weeks now. So the first one here, guys, it's never stated explicitly, but the Ronin and his son who inspired Jack to become a samurai, so it was not his dad, as it's pretty obvious later. So I was initially watching, being like, is that Jack's dad? No, it's not. It's just literally like a random samurai warrior and his son, Ronin. And it's Ogami Ito and his son Daigoro, also known as the Lone Wolf and Cub. So basically, he swore revenge, abandoning Bushido and walking the path of the assassin until he can get revenge upon the Yagyu clan or die trying. So that's pretty dope. And then the other one, guys, the 3 bullies in terms of their designs are a reference to the main characters of another Cartoon Network show, Ed, Edd n Eddy. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I loved Ed and Eddy as a kid. I watched that a lot, so I didn't pick up on that, but that's pretty awesome in another Cartoon Network show. So ties back to the past, and an episode where Jack is remembering the past. Good for Genndy to bring that back to reality there. So those are the Jack facts for this week. Okay, guys, well, that's another episode. I've got to get back. We are 19 episodes in now, so we're motoring through here. This is the official halfway point of season 6, so we got 6 more to, excuse me, not season 6, season 2. So we got 6 more episodes to go. And yeah, you guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell notification. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out the channel, checking out the Gotta Get Back Samurai Jack in review. Until next time, guys, gotta get back.